It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
So just to give exposition, unlike the freaking anime, which had to give Sparta's backstory all the time, DMC is my favorite game series of all time so far, and DMC 3 is my favorite game of all time so far, because of, I'm not dead. But that anime had to be one of the freaking worst game to anime adaptations I've ever seen. It was horrible. Absolutely a freaking egregious. I'm gonna be talking about the major points because we don't want to be here all day. I'm gonna give the major points what makes this so trash. In the first episode, it shows this dude Dante fighting demons or whatever, right? It shows him fighting the demons that were attacking this lady and her daughter, and he proceeds to beat the demons in typical Dante fashion, and then he finds out that the lady's daughter, the baby, actually turned out to be a demon, right? And so he tried to kill the freaking the demon. While he was aiming at the demon, the lady tried to pull his arm. He didn't move, but then she throws a purse at his head, and then it stuns him. And then not only does that stun him, but then she leaves with the stroller and gets away from him. Keep that in mind with what I'm gonna show you next, because not even an episode later, literally later on in the episode, this happens. And I don't even do I honestly need to explain to you how stupid that is? Like, throughout the entirety of that anime, they literally nerfed Dante just so that everyone else in the show could could actually thrive and do stuff. But the thing is, if they literally had just made it canon story or an actual canon time, because first of all, the timeline of that show was horrible, freaking abysmal, and nothing made sense. Okay, so let's start off with the elephant in the room. Lady was not lady, so we're going to be referring to her as Mary from now on, because they made lady into this freaking giant a-hole that has to just act like a freaking piece of garbage to anything and everyone around her, because who knows why. She was horrible, literally the worst character in the show. First of all, she wouldn't shut up. She wouldn't stop cussing after every single sentence. She needed to. They tried to make her this freaking lone wolf. I'm independent. I'm better than you. Blah, blah, blah. Literally just annoying. She was literally a typical annoying female. I have to be the most badass character in the show. It seemed as though they were trying to take the Mary from DMC 3 that was obsessed with killing demons and killing her dad, and they tried to put it in the show. But when you make the story so inconsistent, because Dante, okay, hold on, I got it. Oh my gosh, it's giving me a headache. Let's start with Dante. I wanted to start with Mary, but we got to start with the key figure, the man himself. So they wanted him to be like Dante, which he kind of sort of was. He kind of was, not really entirely. If they wanted him to be DMC 3 Dante, he was kind of like him, but not entirely. First of all, his backstory, Sparta never was with his family for some reason. And instead of the Mundus sending his demons to go kill Dante, Virgil, and his mom, and Virgil not being at the crib because he wasn't in the actual, in the books, he wasn't at the house, but in the anime he was at the house, and the demons killed Virgil and the mom, and so Dante thought Virgil was dead this whole time. But then not only that, Dante didn't know that he was the son of Sparta, because when his mom will always, when he would ask his mom what his dad's name was, she never told him, but will always talk about Sparta being this cracked out dude. Just stupid. It was stupid. And they tried to make Dante seem like this freaking superhero, talking about some, you didn't think it was weird that you could do all this crazy stuff, and he talking about some, no, I just thought that I had like these badass superhero genetic, like, what? It was stupid. It was literally dumb. Oh yeah, and they tried to freaking give out the most baitiest bait of all time to get people to watch the show, which was Virgil walking through the fire. Yeah, that was the first episode. And that was a demon pretending to be Virgil. Mind you, hold on. Dante thought Virgil was dead, right? But that demon can only transform into people that it has either seen or met before. And they have to be alive. And this dude Dante didn't think for 1 second that Virgil was alive until the literal end of the season. Oh yeah, and don't get me started on his devil trigger that they call devil trigger in the show, which would not be it, because it's just his devil form, which is what it is. Devil trigger is a name used in the game, so you know what it is. But let's not talk about that. It can only be activated when he has extreme emotions, when he sees someone he cares about in trouble. typical anime fashion, right? Yeah, let me just say this right now. Netflix should never be able to write anything in there. Like just don't let them write anything. Everything they write, everything they touch that is an original sucks. It literally blows. And the freaking executive producer, Adi Shankar, the freaking what's it called? The producer of that anime. Yeah, don't let him work on anything ever again either. Cause I looked him up. He was the person who made Dredd, the absolutely horrible Judge Dredd movie. Yeah. Why would they hire him to make a DMC anime? And no wonder he made the anime and it sucked. It was horrible. It was literally abysmal. Okay, now let's go to Mary. So the main villain, the White Rabbit, no one knew who he was this whole time, and I'm gonna get into his character being like how he could have been literally the greatest villain of that show. But and by the way, this entire storyline it could literally have been summarized into one episode of the original DMC anime that Madhouse made. Yeah, so the White Rabbit, his whole reason for being a villain, cause he got abused as an orphan, he got abused by his adoptive parents, and then he found the rabbit hole, which was the portal to hell. The oppressed demons raised him, and he wanted to save them, right? So he's trying to get them out as fast as possible while that giant demon thing was eating them. He gets out, he tells Mary's crew they mean them no harm. They're trying to escape from what's in the portal. The thing in the portal, starts trying to come out, it can't fit. And we're gonna get into that later. And Mary says open fire and just starts mowing them all down instead of just shooting the thing that's trying to get through, clearly seeing that they're cowering, trying to get away from it. She said, nah, just mow them all down. Oh yeah, and they have anti-demon bullets, whatever that means. Whatever that means. Yeah, so that's the whole reason why he's a villain now. And look, he reveals this to Lady in the I think it was the last episode or the one before the last. He reveals this to Lady. And then instead of her saying, oh, I'm sorry, or, I admit I was rash, I apologize, anything like that. No, instead of saying that, she says,
we didn't do this. You were trying to help demons that night, but now I should have known you were human from the start. Your brand of pure psychotic ruthlessness, that's all humanity.
She never took accountability for anything she did. Because why would she? She did nothing wrong, right? She was literally the worst character in that show, and there's no debating it. There's no talking about it. There's no anything. She literally sucked. Oh yeah, and what's the name of that lightning demon from DMC 5? Angelo, the freaking lightning Angelo demon from DMC 5. Yeah, it was chasing after Mary, trying to kill her, but when she got in the elevator, it couldn't break through the door with its sword. And I know for 100% fact that the people that wrote that anime have no idea of anything in DMC at all. They literally probably skimmed through a summary of all of it. Not even. They probably just looked at pictures and they just did whatever they wanted to with it because they knew nothing about that junk at all. First of all, Dante having his devil trigger alone. Yeah, okay, no. I'm just gonna take what my brother said. It's taking place in another timeline because we're not even gonna talk about that. This had to have been an alternate universe in an alternate timeline where everything in it just sucks. It makes absolutely no freaking sense because that junk is dumb. But yeah, the White Rabbit. That was his whole purpose, to save the oppressed. He he brain cracked after his family died right in front of him, and he sewed the freaking White Rabbit mask on. And so his whole goal is to save the oppressed, and yet he takes these said people to a hotel, locks them in there, and then does experiments on them to make them strong enough to be able to get the amulets. And then not only that, he wants to get rid of the seal that Sparta made, trapping the Hell Realm from the human world, saying that he wants to he'll let them all through because it'll make a equilibrium where there will be balance when Mundus is still alive. My brother and I literally said if he wanted actual equilibrium, if he wanted the oppressed people to be saved, and I'm gonna say something right now that I'm gonna chain it to something else because of how stupid it is, he literally could have just asked Dante and Virgil to team up to fight Mundus. Now let's go into Virgil. So Virgil was obviously still alive, and he's working for Mundus.
Thanks for the joke.
After knowing that Mundus was the one that sent demons to kill his mother and his entire family, killed him, by the way, quote unquote. He's working for him because he saved him from his bondage. What does that mean? What does that mean? What did he do? What did he do to save him from his bondage? What bondage was he in? He wasn't in any. If they literally even just read the smallest, did the tiniest amount of research on anything. Yeah, and Dante didn't even have ebony and ivory, by the way. we're not gonna talk about that. But we're not gonna talk about it. This dude Virgil is working for the man who literally caused him to have the entire motivation to getting power in the first place. And then when he found Mundus in DMC 3 after getting left in hell, well, he actually let himself, whatever, you get it. After getting left in hell, he found Mundus and tried to run the fate with him immediately because he hates him. And then he got whooped, tortured, became Nilo Angelo, and then he worked for Mundus until Dante broke him free in DMC 1. But in the show, he can change from Nilo Angelo to Virgil at any point. Mind you, these portals, by the way, I meant to say that the beast couldn't get through, that the monster couldn't get through, they're the size of a human. So only a human-sized thing could get through it. And yet at the end of the season, they made a whole military base in hell. How did they get the stuff through? How did they get any of that stuff through? They had whole cranes down there. Oh yeah, they had Lucia from DMC 2. Yeah, I meant to say, that show was literally nothing but, hey, we heard you guys wanted something with DMC related, so we're just gonna put as many references in it as possible so that you guys can actually like it, because we fed what you wanted, which was something that showed Dante being cool with a bunch of references, but it didn't show Dante being cool. Because in the first episode, he takes a shotgun to the chest and heals immediately. But yet later on, Lady shoots him in the leg, is able to throw him in a truck and then lock it because his leg is still healing from him getting shot. We all remember the intro of DMC 3, correct? And then not only that, she gets to tranquilize him and he gets knocked out and then he gets cryo frozen. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about it. Yeah, they didn't know if they wanted it to be DMC 3, 4, 2. Like I said, they caught Lucia. That's impossible. Humans, basic regular humans caught Lucia. Oh yeah, in the very first episode, these dudes are Force Edge being in the Vatican Museum. Let's not talk about it. But these dudes are breaking into the Vatican to steal Force Edge, right? And then the White Rabbit shows up to steal it himself. He hired the people to steal the Force Edge in the first place. What was the purpose? Oh my gosh, it's so bad. It is literally the dumbest. It's stupid. Went over Mary being completely, it's literally like but this is the thing, they wanted her to be DMC 3 Mary, which, you know, she hates all demons, blah blah blah. But the thing is, if she's not chasing after her dad, she has no reason to be doing this. If she's literally not trying to kill Arkham, there's no reason for her to be doing what she's doing. She only became a devil hunter because Arkham sacrificed her mom. Like I said, it's a different universe. It has to be different timeline, different universe. It's not canon to anything ever. Yeah, because Lady being in some special forces unit of the government that's made to hunt down deep. First of all, only time I could ever even think of the government being involved with anything to do with demons in DMC is like DMC 2, and that game was funky. But like that was the least that they would ever know about demons for real. Cause in any other time they literally never. Only until DMC 5, when Virgil literally put a giant freaking tree in the middle of the city, did the government really get involved, because otherwise it would literally just contain. Also, why did they give him Nero's, that they gave Dante Nero's theme? I don't know if it was because, you know, it was his voice actor, but they had Devil Trigger being sang by a dude. And then they had Bury the Light being sang by a chick. What was the purpose of that? I feel like the dude who wrote this literally he just turned his brain off. He didn't even try to look up any of the source material. He just looked up names and then said, okay, I want them to act like this, instead of actually making them act like anything. He couldn't have been a DMC fan. He literally, someone who hates DMC would have wrote this show. Someone who literally hates DMC would have made this show, because that is trash. That is horrible. And first of all, the animation style didn't even fit the tone of DMC. They made it seem like some freaking happy-go-lucky, nice, you know, whatever. Like DMC 3 has jokes and whatever because Dante's BSing, but it's dark. It's literally dark. Even the game itself is a dark tone because everything is serious. It's just that Dante's the only one joking around. It's like Resident Evil. When they tried to make Dante seem so cold, he is cold, but listen, stick with me. So when the vice president, also rest in peace to Kevin Conroy, Batman, but when the vice president was talking about getting the amulet, the dude in the back was saying, I've worked on a mission with Dante. I've seen him fight. He's not somebody any amount of money could make you want to fight, blah, blah, blah. And then he says $500,000. And this dude talking about some.
Well, all right. Well, let's go get him then.
Did I go through everything? I think I did. I literally said, if they wanted to just make a series like that, they could have did that without putting the DMC name on it. But when you put the DMC name on it, you have to follow the DMC framework. And when you don't follow the DMC framework, it sucks. It literally blows. There's no other way. There's no two ways about it. It just sucks because you're not making DMC. You're making whatever you want because you want to. That's literally all it is. It's stupid. It's literally dumb. I think that's about everything. If I forgot anything, let me know. But as far as I can think of right now, that's about it. I'm gonna be grinding out the DMC 3 and like 1 and all that, all their playthroughs now, because to see one of my favorite game series being disrespected in such a way, I have to play the actual peak so that I can feel cleaned and renewed, because that was just so trash. It was so horrible. So yeah, that's about it. I really don't do videos like this, but I had to, because like I said, it's one of my favorite game series. But thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all in another video.